by who was putting the old meat to you. Huh?
Whoa. That's, wow, sir.
That's how I remember things.
I'm learning so much tonight.
Please, it's just like plaster caster. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you
yeah,
just
yeah.
keep the molds, and this was 2005. This was 2008. You know, that's how we keep it all straight. So, I think we are about to be. I think we are live.
Oh, are we? Good.
I think so.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
That's beautiful.
That is beautiful.
Still a beautiful thing.
We
Still
should
a beautiful
go to
thing.
Anna Popovich's dress like that tomorrow.
And there's the flyer I did for it.
On a pop my day.
Cool.
It's the flyer.
I don't think that's her name.
That's cool.
I think you're mispronouncing
Very,
her
very,
name.
very nice. Very good.
Oh my God.
All right, buddy, buddy,
you.
buddy.
Thank you very much.
Buddy, good.
That's me flashing no traffic. Because I was drunk and had to get the corset off, and I was like, I'm done.
Oh, Lord God.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we got the chat up. Let's see here. What else is missing? There's something I need. And I don't want any idea.
What could it be?
New.
What could it be?
Oh, we are live. Look at us there.
Yes, we are.
Hey, hello everybody.
There it is.
Live in front of your steaming.
They had for background music. They had hard rock / metal, and they don't have it right now.
Oh, those
I don't know, like.
bastards.
So maybe we'll do lounge for a moment.
What the hell is that?
So, okay, we'll turn this off once we get started. We're just kind of getting things set up. Hopefully everybody can see, hear, smell the podcast, smell the glove,
Right.
smell the podcast glove. No glove, no love.
That's true. That's so true.
So we're getting things sort of set up and rearranged. Lily's she's ready. We've got Mr. Pittsburgh in the house.
What's up, everybody?
So, hey, Chris Thunderwolf Dodson and
Raven!
Give me the thing.
No, you give me the thing.
I need the thing.
You give me the thing.
I need the thing. I need the thing and the other thing. I need this thing right here.
There you go.
Give me the thing and the other thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
So, oh my goodness.
Have a drink. Drink up,
I'm
Johnny.
entirely not drunk enough for this podcast.
Exactly. Right?
Entirely too sober. Everybody have a good day today?
at work.
Yeah.
All right, that's good. That's
It's good.
good. Business.
It's not business.
Got my AC/DC shirt on, speaking of classic rock, and Lily has Led Zeppelin. And Pittsburgh Kevin has a gray shirt on.
T-shirt.
He's celebrating winter in Pittsburgh,
Fuck it.
which is a glorious, glorious time.
I'm gonna hate the winter.
What's the quote from Richard III?
Touch me here.
Now is the winter of our discontent, made glorious summer by this son of York.
Wow. But it was so well done.
So that's about as Shakespearean as we get. So how's everybody doing? You guys feeling okay? You guys feeling like maybe doing a podcast tonight? We've got Wolf and Raven.
Yeah, all right. What the hell? Oh,
Yeah, we're using Restroom Live. We're
Nice.
streaming from the restroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Uh-oh. How was that?
where did
It
he
was
pee?
so
Well, I got to talk about that. We'll talk about that. We're going to kind of just hang out. We've been stretching the podcast length a bit and just kind of relaxing. We're not going to go full Joe Rogan with 3 hours, but, we're going to be kind of flexible about, if we want to continue talking, we're not going to be like, we have to stop. Oh, my God. So I miss Keith the Hawk Hawkins. I really want his ass back here. And I kind of miss Billy Altman. So I wish those guys would pop in and say what's up. We'd like to hear from you guys. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead. I think I can.
Yep.
We don't need that. I think we're about ready. Check. We did check Levels.
Yeah.
Levels.
Lavelle?
Like
Yeah.
Chuck Lavelle. Who's Chuck Lavelle?
He's that guy. He's a basketball player.
Keyboard player. Keyboard player. a very famous keyboard player. Played with everybody. Little Feat, Rolling Stones, a lot of people.
I thought you meant
Sometimes he
Charlie Bell.
plays. Sometimes he plays basketball if he's not playing keyboards. You all right?
And now lose that.
You okay?
You all right?
You got to see that live, everybody. Live.
Did you forget how to drink?
I have this is about the time my drinking problem started. That went like I was being a smart ass,
Uh-huh.
Backfired.
and it was like starting to go up my nose.
There you go.
It's like this vodka cannot go up my nose
Don't snort vodka.
because
Supposed to do that.
it'll be like a
You
5-minute
burn.
podcast. I'm like, I gotta get out of here. I mean, I have a little bit of something that does not have alcohol in it for half a second.
All right, go ahead.
Don't let him fool you. There's alcohol in there.
This is straight vodka.
Yeah. There you go.
You could do that. You could fill your water bottles with vodka and like.
Don't think I haven't.
I was gonna say who would know? Well, everybody who watching how you acted.
Yeah, you're like,
After the third
sounds
bottle of
over that
water.
water. I'm
I'm
just
okay.
saying.
I'm looking at it. I'm good.
Okay, let's go ahead and get the party started. All right, I need that. Oh no, yes, and I need my notes. I don't have too many notes on this
No?
weird topic.
Huh.
Okay. Okay.
Is it? What's going on?
You all right? Need a cigarette now?
I have one.
Okay, you guys ready to do something? Here we go.
See.
In 5, 4, 3. Contrary to popular belief, the death of classic blues-based rock has been greatly exaggerated. So on this week's Loudini Rock and Roll Circus podcast, we are going to turn you on to 10 current bands that are keeping classic rock alive. Get ready to rock out with your talk out. It's the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus. All right, moms and dads, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back once again to the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus podcast, where we bring you great music commentary and discussion every week on a wide variety of music and rock and metal related topics. Oh boy, I don't know. I think I'm just ready to quit now.
What do you mean?
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, all right. Okay. Whoa.
No, but seriously, we're gonna have a good time tonight. This is, this is for all y'all out there. They're like, no good music, good any music. I like all the music today songs.
Is that what they sound like?
That's what they
It
say.
is.
Wow.
Right? Lily knows what they sound like.
Wow.
Exactly. Whiny
That's very accurate.
Punks.
It's like Wendy Weiner. Speaking of classic stuff, right?
Yeah.
That's classic Saturday Night Live. But
Nothing
anyways,
Wendy's.
for all y'all out there who are going like, there's where's the really good music? We're gonna tell you all about it. Lily's got some very cool folks on her list that I know a lot of you probably do not know. I have some artists that you're gonna go like, oh yeah, that's right. They are playing rock and roll. I didn't really even think about that, but they are. They're out there. They're putting out good music. So we are going to keep it to 10 because I'm always open to a part 2, a part 3, a part 4 down the line. So we're going to rein it in. We're not going to allow ourselves to, talk about 19 different bands. We're going to rein it in. A little bit later on, we're going to get into a couple other things I want to get into. I want to talk about speaking of classic rock, I want to discuss Neil Young and his war with Spotify and Joe Rogan and all that. And I have a little thing I want to, I've put some thought into something this week, okay? And I was, because I've been listening to Octane, trying to get with the new rock.
Yeah, with the kids are
And there
playing.
are some,
Sure.
there's some like, the bands are great and it's all cool, but I think I have discovered what the issue is. I think that modern rock has what I would call a political problem. What I mean by political problem is not that their music is political, like they're discussing politics, and it's not Rage Against the Machine type that.
yeah.
But I will explain that a little bit later on in more detail. But I want to get into that. I want to get you guys' feedback on it. I think Lily's going to have a lot to say about this because basically this is a discussion on kind of like what the fuck happened to real rock and roll. Okay, it's kind of like it's getting into that sort of discussion. Okay, before we go too far, of course, and they are watching. I mean, Chris and Raven, they jump on like before anybody else does, to hang out with us. We love you guys. You guys are freaking awesome. So shout out to Wolf's Customs. Go to wolfscustoms.online. Get yourself a custom paint job. Tom Proctor, what's up? Popped on. Go to wolfscustoms.online or just search Wolf's Customs on social media, specifically. I'm changing the word to
sure.
specifically
I like
now. Specifically on Facebook, you can see a lot of great work that Chris Thunderwolf Dodson does on musical instruments. They're just fantastic. So check them out, hit them up, get some custom work done on your musical instrument. RockRageRadio.com. Very sad to hear that John's mom passed away. So our condolences to John, the owner. But it's a great company, and they are really supportive of rock and roll. RockRageRadio.com. Download the app and listen to great music content like this 24/7. It's totally free. I was mentioning Octane, which is a Sirius channel, and Sirius XM is they charge you, right?
Yes.
But Rock Rage Radio, the app is totally free, so check it out, and it's way more interesting in my opinion. Loudini Rock and Roll Circus.com. I always forget about my own shit. Loudini Rock and Roll. I apologize, guys. I was being a smart ass and slurping my vodka like to make like a funny sound in the microphone before we started, and now I have vodka like in my sinuses and stuff. So. So I apologize for the throat clearing and stuff like that. I mean, I already have wacky sinuses, and like that was about as stupid. Yeah, Mom always said, "Stupid is as stupid does."
Pretty much.
So, Loudini Rock and Roll Circus.com. A lot of awesome things there. If you'd like to become part of the group of folks that hang out with us on the podcast, go to LouLombardiMusic.com. Become part of our inner circle. You also get access to exclusive music, things like our YouTube archive and stuff like that. So check all that out. LoudiniRockandRollCircus.com and LouLombardiMusic.com. Oh my God, I'm like belching. I got all kind of problems. I need help.
Wow.
Speaking of Rock Rage Radio, Lily V6 saved my ass. Lily is a jock on Rock Rage Radio. She has her own show. You want to just give them a quick heads up?
My show is on Thursdays. It's Hot Licks with Lily 6, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, like we said. The app is free, or you can go to rockradio.com. I do interviews and play a few mainstream bands and mostly unsigned bands. But this week I do have Kat Von D on. I interviewed her. It was about 15 minutes of fun. She's very interesting, and she will be in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania in February. I believe it's February 28th at the Thunderbird.
Cool.
So she talks a little bit about her stage show.
Got herself a bottle of Thunderbird and she's living under the bridge.
I'm gonna take the night train down. Let's see her.
Lily V6, we love Lily V6. Hot Licks with Lily 6. And speaking of loving you is easy 'cause you're beautiful. Pittsburgh Kevin is in the house tonight.
Billy T is saying he can't hear Lily,
Oh no.
which is funny because we can hear her here.
Say, Lily talk.
Lily talk. Can you hear me? Yes. No, maybe. Sure.
Yeah. I can hear you, and that's all that matters.
I don't know. You're showing up on all the shit.
I hear myself.
I know.
Maybe Billy T's a little, out there.
All right. So let's.
Talk again. I'm here.
Yeah, you're not coming out.
Oh.
Talk again.
Okay, I'm gonna keep talking until
It's weird. I had this problem earlier. I was rerouting things and everything like that.
Yeah.
So maybe what we do is You bring
Lily
your
can sit on my lap and use my mic.
What I think we're gonna do,
What?
and I don't know what's going on because look, it's showing up. It's being recorded. It's not going out online, but you guys can hear Pittsburgh Kevin. So here's what we're gonna do. I do not understand this. I have worked on this system for
I
days,
saw you working on it.
losing my mind. Trying to
through
get
his
all this
window.
stuff to work, and it's like there's always like one thing that won't come out, and she was working an hour ago. I checked all the mics; it was coming out on the thing. It's not coming out on the thing. So what we're gonna do is you're gonna swing your microphone, Pittsburgh Kevin, and we're all gonna get cozy. You're gonna come a little closer. We're gonna get a little closer. But you still need this mic. We need to know both microphones. But we're gonna bring Kevin's microphone. Kevin, can you bring your chair over here closer to Lily? Yeah. Get as close to Lily as you can.
I'm going to get as close to Lily as I can.
I can't stand you guys.
Okay,
Lily.
so it looks a little wonky, guys.
You're freaking
So
me
we
out.
have a glitch in the matrix, and I don't know what's going on, but you should be able to hear Lily Von Six.
Thanks, Bill. Our plan worked perfectly.
So, okay. All right, so I don't know what's going on, and I will have to talk to my talk to the people at Loopback to find out why in the world of sports this is going through. So, all right, so we're a close-knit family tonight. We oh my God, what's my club soda? God damn it!
Maybe it's up your nose.
Oh no.
It doesn't look like it on camera, but we are 6 feet apart.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yes, I'm getting claustrophobic now.
You okay? No, you're gonna be all right.
No,
Will?
I'm fine. I might just to talk here or here or here.
And talk between the two. Keep your face like somewhere in the middle.
It's not talking.
Well, I'm not talking right now. I wasn't. I was licking the air.
I was licking the air. I'm licking the air. Okay, somebody gave us 5 stars. Thank you for the 5 stars.
Chuck.
Chuck. Yeah, Chuck, what's up, big guy? Anyways, speaking of 5 stars, please go to, check us out on Spotify and iTunes, man. Reviews and stuff like that are truly helpful. So if you could do stuff like that, we do appreciate it. We do appreciate it, dude, we appreciate it, man. Okay, so, I think we've taken care of all the business stuff, right? Wolf's Customs, Rock Rage, talked about your show, introduced everybody, introduced my stuff, blah, 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 yada, 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 whatever. We're 17 minutes in, and people are going like, get to the fucking comic! Okay, I think the alcohol's starting to work. So we're going to start with... So these are bands, so let's kind of explain what we're talking about here. These are bands that are, despite it being 2022... are still playing rock that you would recognize as rock. In other words, if people from the 80s or 70s were to show up, they'd go, yeah, they would recognize it. They'd be like, yeah, that's rock.
Yeah.
They'd go, yeah, that's rock. They'd be like, it wouldn't be like a thing where they'd be like, I don't really think that's rock. There'd be none of that nonsense. So that is the sort of qualifier here. For what the sort of not the qualify. What's the word I want? That's the ground rules.
Okay, I like
if you
that.
want to say that, those are the sort of ground rules of it. Okay, I can't find what I wanted to, but I will find it as Lily talks. Okay. So Lily, go ahead and start with. We're gonna start with Lily as we always do, and we're gonna do 5. Pittsburgh Kevin, you can chime in as we go. You can chime in and give us your thoughts. So we start with Lily V6. What do you got, Lily?
I'm going to say Dirty Honey first. American rock band from LA. They were the first band to top the charts as an unsigned band with the song When I'm Gone. John Nato, the guitarist for the band, likes to call the sound new-fashioned rock and roll. They're straight up, no apologies rock and roll band. The 5 songs on their debut EP are what every rock fan is looking for. Meaty melodies, explosive dynamics, gritty rock vocals, and heavy guitar riffs. They have a fan base of established rock stars that include Guns N' Roses, The Who, and Slash, all who have tapped Dirty Honey to open for them.
Nice.
They opened for the Black Crowes on the Shake Your Moneymaker tour that Lou saw last year, and they will be co-headlining with Mammoth WVH on the Young Guns tour this year, which I will be covering for Rock Rage Radio. On January 1st, 2022, they released a cover of the Prince song Let's Go Crazy, which is amazing.
Ooh, I want to hear it. I got to hear that.
Okay.
I want to hit it.
It's fresh.
easily excited.
It's brand new.
Ma, I got him, Ma.
They performed it during the 2022 NHL Winter Classic. Their studio album, Dirty Honey, was released in 2021. If you haven't heard them, check them out. And the single California Dreamin' is the other one you're going to want to hear.
Oh, yeah, Bones Magoo. So you just walked in. Hey, Bones. Thanks, buddy. Dirty Honey. I saw that band.
You did, I know.
They opened for the Black Crows. And they were fan-fucking-tastic.
Yes, I haven't seen them yet, but I will.
Here's the thing about going to see especially a show like the Black Crows, which was in an outdoor amphitheater. They, the opening act doesn't get like the full PA and the full
No.
lights. In fact, when Dirty Honey was playing, it was still light.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Everybody's
it was like,
out over.
so
tailgating.
yeah. People were there were some people still tailgating, but me and Sharon really dug them. We thought they were really good. We listened to the entire show. I do not know the members.
I just
the
know
band,
the lead singer, John Otto.
But he has good. He's a really good voice. They did a Led Zeppelin cover, which is Zeppelin's. It's kind of challenging for a vocalist. I was just really. I thought it was a great match. I think though that like in a club where it could have they could have been loud and I think it would have been just more effective. But that's what as they were playing, you could be like we are just. It was louder than the background music that's playing now, but honestly, not by too much.
Right.
So it wasn't as effective as I thought that it really could have been or should have been. It was unfortunate, but they were just there. You could just tell they just shined all over the place. Great show. Yes, this is a good example of a band that is keeping that playing that traditional rock.
And they're co-headlining with Wolfgang Van Halen.
Oh
At
yeah,
the Roxy in
Mammoth
this year. So yeah, it'll be a good show, I think.
That's might been somebody who could have ended up on this list, maybe for part 2.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk about one of my absolute favorite bands ever, and that is saying a lot because this is a band that came out really kind of broke in this century. Okay, which is you can say there's no great rock. When we talk about the Pretty Reckless, this is a great rock band, and that is what they're playing. They are unlike, they're often unfairly, compared or put against Hailstorm. They sound nothing like Hailstorm.
They're very different.
You can tell that these guys have roots with Led Zeppelin and even the Beatles. Excuse me, I didn't mean to distort the mic. We might want to go to headphones at some point, but even the Beatles. There's some Southern rock in some places. They just bring back that great, fist in the air, like you just don't care, rocking out type stuff. Guitar solos. Wow. Crazy shit, right? Can imagine that. The band released their debut studio album, Light Me Up, in August 2010. The album spawned 3 moderately successful singles, most notably Make Me Wanna Die. The band released Hit Me Like a Man. Talk about a politically incorrect title.
That's very Taylor Momsen there.
In March 2014, the band released their second studio album, Going to Hell, which included the singles Heaven Knows. And if you have not heard the song Heaven Knows, you really need to go. If you're listening to the podcast, on Spotify or iTunes, pause it real quick and go listen to Heaven Knows.
No.
It is one of the greatest, rock anthems maybe of all time. I mean, so you fuckers out there, there's no good music. Come on. You just listen to that song. You tell me that song doesn't kick freaking ass.
It looks like Lou's ready to beat you up if you disagree.
I'm ready to beat somebody up. I'm not. I'm super. I love everybody. The band's third studio album, Who You Selling For, was released in October of 2016 by Razor and Tie. Who was signed to Razor and Tie? Somebody we know. I believe that the Clarks were signed to Razor and Tie way back when that record label was just getting started. The album spawned the single Take Me Down. Again, listen to that song. It is really it's other than the fact that it has modern production and everything, it's a song that could have come out in 1978. Like it's wonderful. Earned the band their 4th #1 on the U.S. rock chart. See, even people are listening to it and digging it. Okay, so that's like, get your shit together.
I remember back when we first started doing
Lean into the mic so people want to hear you.
I remember back in the day, Lou, when you and I did the podcast together.
No, but back when we first started doing the podcast, we featured them. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I.
Yeah. That was a
first became
band that
aware of
really, really kind of blew my doors off. The singer, guitarist, and Gossip Girl actress, Taylor Momsen worked with several producers before meeting Kato Kandwala. Momsen has said that she liked Kandwala because he was a rock producer as opposed to a pop producer. She introduced Momsen to Ben Phillips. The three of them began to write songs together. 3 unnamed musicians were hired to form the band with Momsen. The band were originally called The Reckless, but had to change the name due to trademark problems. The band's first concert was in May of 2009 at the Annex in New York. After 7 concerts, the lineup of the band was changed. The new lineup band consisted of Momsen with John Secolo, Matt Shirelli, and Nick Carbone. Shirelli Carbone, they sound like good paisans. The second lineup of the band also played the first concert at the Annex. They recorded some demos in 2009, opened for the Veronicas on the North American tour. Eventually, there were some band changes, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So you get the idea. So these guys kind of started getting the thing together. This is Taylor Momsen. If you do not know, and this is so like, you know, there's what is it, like Truth is Stranger Than Fiction, or like one of those, like, never judge a book by its cover, right, Lily?
Yeah.
This was Cindy Lou Who from the Jim Carrey
I knew he was gonna bring
Grinch
this
Who
up.
Stole Christmas. That is her. That's that little bitch.
Whoa.
So she could have easily gone pop music with that look.
Yeah, I mean, like, and I really kind of respect really what they're doing. It's like, these are songs that are obviously written. Somebody sat down on a guitar and worked out chord changes and wrote lyrics, and it wasn't just, you know, sampled by producers and blah, 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 blah. It's like real rock and roll in again, like the Dirty Honey, the Pretty Reckless, like same. If these bands would have came out in the 70s or 80s, you'd have been like, yes, kicks ass. This is great stuff. You know, wouldn't have batted an eye at it. So yeah. So my list includes now the Pretty Reckless. Throwing it back to Lily V6.
Wow.
Thank you,
Are we
Bones.
going fox hunting? Is that what's happening? Have you guys heard Tyler Bryant and the Shakedown?
Oh my God! I have them on my list. You bitch!
Well,
Tell
anyway,
you.
I don't like their name at all, but I do like the band. Formed in Nashville, Tennessee, they've released 4 successful studio albums, a mix of southern blues and roots rock. Started to build their fan base the old-fashioned way with constant touring. The latest,
Playing real instruments. Excuse me.
yes, real instruments. The latest released album was October 16, 2020. Due to the COVID, they had to record most of it at Tyler's home, but it did feature guest artists like his wife.
I hope they social distance and all wore masks.
I'm
or
sure
I'm
they
not
did.
buying the album.
Larkin Poe and Blackberry Smoke were on the album. They have toured with Jeff Beck, ZZ Top, Aerosmith, AC/DC, Guns N' Roses, and Skynyrd. Their first performance since the pandemic was at Jurgle's Rhythm Grill in Warrendale, Pennsylvania on June 25th, 2021. They released a new single, Born Rockin', on September 17th, 2021, independently, followed by an all-acoustic EP, Rust in Roll, released on September 23rd, 2021. So that's what they've been doing lately.
Kevin, Pittsburgh Kevin and I, we saw them. We saw them. They did a show, and we went to see Highway 4. Do you remember Highway 4 from
Yes.
Pittsburgh? It's a good rock and roll band. I wish they would have continued to do stuff. They were really good. Shout out to Kelly. But we went to see Highway 4, and you know they were opening for Tyler Bryant and the Shakedown, and it was a awesome show. They kicked ass.
I've never seen
On the
them.
microphone. It does matter.
Folks, does it really matter?
Yes, it does.
I've never seen them live, so suck for me.
It was at it's not Nick's Fat City. What was it called after that?
Oh, what was it? Diesel?
Diesel.
Diesel?
It was a Diesel. It's club.
Was that that night I saw you across the street at Diesel when I was at that other show?
Yeah. And they were.
That's great. I was in a corset.
Yeah, you were in a corset and dominatrix boots.
Was it the burlesque show?
Yeah.
Yep.
It was.
There you go.
We hadn't started working together yet, but I knew who she was. And I got to talk to Tyler briefly. Bought the T-shirt, and just a very sweet, humble kid, who really loves the kind of music that, is what you would, again, if somebody from 1975 showed up with it, would like somebody who liked Rick Derringer in the 70s, or Peter Frampton, or Ted Nugent, they would have Tyler's records right alongside of that. That's exactly got that. It's got that exact vibe. So good pick, Lily V6.
Your turn.
You both, but we'll talk about. We both have this one.
Yeah.
But that's okay. I'll let you do it. I got other ones. So I want to talk about. This is not again. This is another band that has come out. Yeah, I guess this band is from this band started in this century. And they jaw-droppingly blew my mind. Jay Buchanan, I had heard him with his he had his own act called Buchanan a few years before this, like in the kind of 2003, 4, 5 era. And if you can, it's on YouTube. You can go and listen. I don't think there's any actual music videos, but they have a song called American Sun. And this is an absolutely killer track. And it's just it just got no promotion. There was a teeny record label, and it just didn't do anything. And it's unfortunate because I've played everybody I know who knows me. I make them listen to American Sun by Buchanan. It's an amazing song. But he got together with Scott Holiday, who I would say is like a modern day guitar hero. And they built this band called Rival Sons. And Rival Sons is, oh my God, it's like everything you love about Led Zeppelin, The Doors. And even what I always thought about Jay's voice, he was like Bono meets Jim Morrison. He has kind of both things kind of going on, and the band has a great those kind of big Led Zeppelin-y blues riff kind of things going on. With really one of their signature things is this amazing drum sound. It's just like. If John Bonham's up in heaven looking down, he's got a big smile on his face whenever he hears Rival Sons plays, because they've got that whole Led Zeppelin kind of drum thing going on. Anyways, I mentioned Jay Buchanan, Scott Holiday, Dave Bessie, and Michael Miley on drums. They formed in 2009. They eventually worked with keyboard player Todd Organ when they started touring. They are signed to Atlantic Records, and but they were they're on a subsidiary. They're on Dave Cobb's subsidiary label, Country Sound. Dave Cobb, I contacted him because I wanted him to produce my record. I didn't know that he was famous. He just came up on a list of producers. So I contacted him. It said he produced rock. I'm looking for anybody that wants to work with rock. Because so many people are hip hop and they want electronic, everything. But formed in Long Beach, where Jay Buchanan and Michael Miley lived. Buchanan previously recorded as a solo artist with his band Buchanan. I mentioned it. He independently released All Understood in 2004 and True Love EP in 2006. I believe All Understood is the album I'm talking about. Rival Sons formed with the remnants of guitarist Scott Holiday's previous band. Scott is, like I said, an amazing guitarist. He had been active in a number of bands, including Human Lab, who were signed to Atlantic Records, but which he left and formed Black Summer Crush. Well, that's a cool name for a band, right? In 2006, Holiday came across Buchanan while searching on MySpace for a singer. Wow! Holy shnikes. Frickin' my frickin' space. Unbelievable. Thank you, Bones. That's what I thought. Bones had a MySpace page, didn't you, buddy?
I had
Yep,
one.
you did, yeah. Yes, you did. Okay. So these guys hook up on MySpace. That's crazy. Drummer Michael Miley had previously worked with Buchanan as well as been in Veruca Salt.
Nice. I like that band.
Right. That was a good rock band from the 90s. He had met bassist Robin Everett playing at a benefit concert at Isaac Hayes' house. The union of Holiday, Buchanan, Everett, and Miley led to the formation of Rival Sons. As singer-songwriter, Buchanan was skeptical about joining a rock and roll band after seeing the reception of the band's debut album, Before the Fire, produced by Dave Cobb. Buchanan committed to Rival Sons full-time. Jack Rivera of the Huffington Post declared them a rock band to watch in 2009. Following this acclaim, they were invited to perform as a supporting act for AC/DC, Alice Cooper, Black Sabbath, Kid Rock, all great rock bands. During this time, Rival Sons also performed on the racetrack during a televised show of the Indianapolis 500.
Fancy.
You can't go wrong. Pressure in Time, amazing record. Head Down, great Western Valkyrie. Just, you can't go wrong. Just grab any
Even
of
the
their
names
things.
are good.
Yeah. Just get like, the song Pressure in Time is like one of my favorite songs by them. But yeah, check them out, guys, if you don't know. But they're signed to, this is funny. They're signed, and I think this is a subsidiary of a bigger label, Elektra or something. But I believe right now they're signed with Earache.
What a name.
So anyway, got to throw a little love at Rival Sons. It is where are we here in the situation? I think about a half an hour. We got any watchers in the club there?
We do, but I can only read the two that I already read that say Facebook user on yours.
Pittsburgh. Chris Thunderwolf Dodson wants to know: is Pittsburgh Kevin your brother? Pittsburgh Kevin is absolutely my brother from another mother.
Yes.
We was growed
We're
up
twins.
together. We was growed up together.
We was growed up together.
Yes, we were. And we met because we had the same girlfriend. Well, we liked the same girl.
Which
And-
one? Because there's been many, actually. There's been many.
Tammy Toporski says, love Rival Sons. So do we, Tammy. It's a great band. So anyways, shout out to everybody who's watching. We love you guys. Thank you so much. Lily V6, I am so interested because she was reading off some of the names before we started. And I'm like, I don't know these people. Like, why I should know them? Like, what is going on? So I know you got a good one. What do you got?
I'm going to go with the Cadillac 3 next.
What?
Yes,
That you just made that up.
I did not. I saw them back when they started out and were called the Cadillac Black. Then they changed their name a few years later. I saw them again as the Cadillac 3, American Southern rock group from Nashville, Tennessee. Frontman Jaron Johnson was born to be in the biz. He writes singles for Keith Urban, Tim McGraw, and Jake Owen. He is the son of Jerry Ray Johnston, who was the drummer for the 80s country band Bandana. They have been...
Wait, what? Bandana? What?
Bandana.
Bandana.
Bandana. They have been called a revamped Skinnerd or Allman Brothers for the 21st century. They aren't trying to reinvent rock and roll. They're just trying to be honest in their music, and that's their biggest draw. In October 2020, they released their 5th studio album, Tabasco and Sweet Tea.
I like that.
And it's cute, right? In April 2021, they announced that they would have their own radio show on Planet Rock, the Planet Rock radio station, every Saturday night for a month. So that was in May of 2021 they did that. But super fun. It's 3 guys. It's very classic Southern blues, everything rock, and they're just super fun to watch. And when I saw Cadillac 3, I'm like, I know I've seen this band before, and who are they? So I researched it. They were the Cadillac Black. I saw open years ago for another band. So very cool guys.
Wow, so you were like hip to them.
Yeah, I already knew who they were. I was
Yeah,
like,
but look
whoa.
at you being on the inside with the stuff. Good
So
one.
listen to them.
Check them out,
Good
guys.
stuff.
Go check these bands out. You can pause. We'll be here. We'll come
We'll
back.
still be here.
We're not going nowhere. This is somebody that again, this person is super famous, so I'm probably not telling you something you don't know. But like, they really are playing real rock and roll in an era of new metal and new, you know what I mean, and very kind of sequenced and beat mapped and technoed and synthesized rock. You guys know his name is Saul Hudson.
I know who that is. I know.
Yes,
I
I
know.
grew up with Saul. He's a nice boy.
He's a nice boy from Brooklyn. No, Saul Hudson. He's better known as Slash.
But he's in my phone as Saul.
Is he really?
Yeah, he is.
So he started like kind of as everybody. If you've been living under a rock, he's the original sort of like hot smoking lead guitarist for the band Guns N' Roses. But man, has he done so much more. Slash's Snake Pit, sort of like Guns N' Roses, and him and Axl are kind of on the outs, so he does the Slash's Snake Pit. Then he does this really cool band called Velvet Revolver, which is really I think that what Slash does so well, like with Slash's Snake Pit, Velvet Revolver, and then what I want to talk about is work with Miles, kind of like bridge the gap between the classic rock of the 70s and 80s with just a little bit of that more modern kind of, in other words, these are rock bands that know that Nirvana happened.
Yes.
They're still playing rock and roll, but they're like, yeah, that happened. So we can't like completely like not have a little bit of a flavor in there somewhere. But Velvet Revolver, which reestablished him as a mainstream performer into the mid to late 2000s, Slash has released 4 solo albums. Slash in 2010, featuring an array of musicians. This is a really fun record. He works with frickin' everybody on this record. It's just called Slash. It's out in 2010, and you name it, he's on it. A band that's on my list, but their singer, the singer from Wolfmother. He's on. There's like tons of folks on. It's a really, really cool record. Apocalyptic Love in 2012, World on Fire 2014, Living the Dream. This is when he started working with Miles Kennedy and the Conspirators. And these guys are just really they're just playing straight up rock and roll. What's so fun too, and I saw Velvet Revolver do this, and I know that his work when he was with Miles Kennedy did this too. They play some Guns N' Roses songs. And Miles Kennedy can sing the shit out of that stuff, like no problem. And so could Scott Weiland. I saw Velvet Revolver, and he sang like people, like Axl Rose is known for this, like sort of like high voice. I mean, Scott Weiland nailed that shit. It was freaking great. And then, so if you get a chance, check it out. I love all the work that Slash has done with Miles Kennedy. So my pick for this round here is Slash and Miles Kennedy. I think that they are just doing it. They do have a little bit of a modern rock kind of like nod. Like they kind of, they're not like completely like, and in other words, they're not being, what's their names? The band that comes out with the big hair and the big show, and they kind of parody.
Steel Panther.
They're not doing Steel Panther. They're not doing Steel Panther. But anyway,
like
so
them.
you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, Lily V6.
All right, so the next band I'm going to talk about is Dorothy. Not the Yellow Brick Road Dorothy, but American rock band formed in LA. The lead vocalist, Dorothy Martin. She is a combination of traits from some of our favorite rock and roll ladies. She has the badass attitude of Joan Jett, the mysteriousness of Stevie Nicks, and the vocal strength of Grace Slick. There it is. Her songs include her wailing about raising hell over distorted guitars, the beauty of the West Coast, and opens up about her battles with alcoholism and addiction. She is a new female in the rock world that will steal your heart. I saw her one time at Star Lake Open for Breaking Benjamin. Didn't know who she was, but I loved how she dressed. Her dress is very Stevie Nicks, so that's where I took it immediately. They released their first self-titled EP in 2014 that Rolling Stone deemed a band you need to know. They have 2 studio albums, the latest released in 2018, and there is one on the way. The title will be Gifts from the Holy Ghost. She got the title because she witnessed a guitar tech die of an overdose of heroin and then come back to life. Whether or not that actually happened, I don't know. That's what she says. She has appeared alongside Dolly Parton on the soundtrack for the Parton film Dumplin' in 2018.
Dumpling.
Yes.
My fart rock gold dumpling. Yes, sir. My God. Mm-hmm.
God. You need to check out their tracks Dark Nights, After Midnight, Wicked Ones, and Raise Hell. What's ironic is one of her other albums is called Rock is Dead. Meanwhile, she is rock. And 28 Days in the Valley. But very fun. She's got a lot of charisma on the stage. I got some really good photos of her because I was in the pit for that show, covering it. Actually for Breaking Benjamin, but she was the opening act, so very good.
I know nothing about Dorothy, but I'm going to check it out on Spotify later on. I really want to hear Dorothy.
You'll like it. You will like it.
And you're going to like
I
it.
knew you were going to do that.
Let's, speaking of liking it, I don't know. Let's take a kind of a break or something. What time? Where are we? 39 minutes. We'll do one more, then we'll take a break. I don't know. There's so many good ones, but I promised that we would limit this thing. We weren't going to go crazy and, do like 30 bands. So I'm going to pick a band that I have not seen this particular band live, but I saw the main dude in the band
I've seen them
live. And it's Government Mule. American Southern rock jam band formed in 94. Some folks from the Allman Brothers, Warren Haynes and Alan Woody, got together and said, let's go do something. I remember hearing Warren Haynes talk about it, and this came about through discussions with him and Alan Woody while they were on tour with the Allman Brothers. Are like, whatever happened to those bands like Cream? Like, where is that band that there's okay, there's like blues guys and stuff, but like rock, playing like that, like sort of kind of heavier rock, just as a 3-piece. Now they did eventually they do tour with a keyboard player at times, but basically that's the sort of story behind Government. Alan Woody was the bassist. Warren Haynes came in to fill the spot for to fill the spot for Dwayne Allman. He was kind of doing the Dwayne Allman part because Dickie Betts, I believe, Dickie was still in the band when Warren joined the band. And if you don't know that record, Seven, what's it called? Seven Roads.
You're asking too many questions.
Seventh. Anyways, there's a they had a single on that record called "Good Clean Fun," which the rock stations here in Pittsburgh played because it was like, "Woo, the Allman Brothers is it's the '90s and grunge is popular, but the Allman Brothers." And it's kind of funny,
how they said it.
Like they kind of never, that kind of sound kind of never completely went away. A future podcast is going to be. So I want to do a podcast on the Southern rock that people don't realize. Because people think that Southern rock kind of ended in the early 80s. You know what I mean? But there's been all these bands, like through every era of rock, including grunge and everything, there's always been Southern rock bands. And so I would like to talk about Sun Volt, the Drive-By Truckers, and bands, all those really awesome bands. So we're going to do something on that on a future podcast. It's really been on my heart. Anyways, so the band was, this came out of conversations while on tour with the Allman Brothers. In February of 2000, the band released Life Before Insanity to critical praise. Although the band had already experienced previous success, they anticipated a greater commercial success with the album. Unfortunately, Alan Woody was found dead in New York City on August 26th of the same year. On September 21st of 2000, a benefit was organized called One for Woody, with the proceeds go into Woody's daughter. The Allman Brothers, the Black Crowes, Phil Lesh and friends, blah, blah, blah. So the reason I'm talking about the death of Alan Woody is because these guys did something unprecedented, I think. So you guys can tell me if this is unprecedented. But they had to find another bass player. They didn't know exactly what they were going to do, but while they weren't like big like pop heroes, everybody in the industry respected like these three dudes that were like really serious musicians playing some long jams, but a lot of succinct, good written riff based songs with great musicianship. And they realized they had a lot of friends. And so they did this project called Low Rising. Rising Low? Somebody look it up for me. Where they brought together their favorite bass players. And they did like a giant kind of, not necessarily an audition, kind of an audition, but a kind of just like fun kind of thing. But Roger Glover from Deep Purple played, all kind of like famous bass players. Like it was like a who's who of bass players. Rising Low. It got, and it's a great documentary. It is funny and entertaining, and you're going to hear great music, and they do great covers. Michelle DiGicello plays on, like, you name it. Anybody who's a badass bass player showed up and wanted to play with these guys. And it was just a testament to, like, what a really well-respected band they were. And they're still going. They're still putting out records. Their last record, I believe, came out in 2017. I like this record. If this is, for a long time, I was like, there is a element of Southern rock and Black Sabbath that could go together. I've always thought this, and I always wanted to do a project like this. And in the record that they released, I think it's called Revolution Come, Revolution Go, is really like this. It's like super heavy, super riffs, but it's still got the kind of Southern thing going, but it's got the Sabbath thing going. It's just badass. Government Mule. So they're on my list of current bands that they're still playing great rock and roll. We're going to take a little break. Okay.
Okay.
We're gonna take
All
a,
right,
we're
then.
going to take a break. I'm going to play this track because I couldn't find the other one I wanted to play for y'all. I need to kill the other thing first. But this is a song that this features Keith the Hawk Hawkins on drums and the ever amazing Katie Simone doing vocals with me, and then pretty much I'm doing everything else. Mike Ofka mixed it and produced it and everything. You guys check it out. It's called Peace in the Valley. We'll be back in a few minutes. No, that's not Peace in the Valley. This is Peace in the Valley. We'll be back in a few minutes. Take two.
This door, I'm gonna raise you up to the top of the steeple. Trash talking, sideways walking. They do their best, practical magic, reality twisting. I'm insisting this comedy is turning tragic. Let's rewrite the script today. We want peace in the valley, for peace
All right, everybody. If you like that sort of thing, go to loulombardimusic.com and you can find out more about it. I was just listening to that song and how there's this breakdown and there's this like kind of longish guitar solo, and I was cutting vocals on a song from my new band last night. And it doesn't sound the same, but it's got the same kind of like arrangement. Like there's this kind of breakdown, there's like long solo sections. I'm like, I guess that's just my thing.
That's what you like.
You know, so that's just me keeping it real. Anyways, guys, welcome back. Loudini Rock Roll Circus. Go to loudinirockandrollcircus.com. Please find Wolf's Customs, wolfscustoms.online or Wolf's Customs on social media for custom artwork done on your musical instrument. rockrageradio.com. Download the app and listen to great music content like this 24/7, as well as Hot Licks with Lily V6. So let's. How many did you do?
Oh hell. 1, 2, 3, 4.
You done 4, and I just wrapped up with Government Mule. So this is your 5th.
Okay, so also you might want to chime in on this one because you had it on your list as well, and I don't have a lot of information on it. But Blackstone Cherry, American rock band formed in Kentucky. They've released 7 studio albums and have charted 17 singles. I have seen them one time.
You lucky bitch.
In my opinion, they don't tour in Pittsburgh enough. So come back to Pittsburgh, please.
Yeah, I think they would be like, Pittsburgh would dig them. They just need to keep coming back, yeah.
They are influenced by Cream, Led Zeppelin, Muddy Waters, and The Faces. They have shared Def for Their latest album was released in 2020 called The Human Condition. It includes a killer cover of Tracy Chapman, live versions of 4 of the album's original tracks, and the single Again. Again is a greatest single. It is their highest peaking song since Me and Mary Jane released in 2014. That is what I have on them, so you probably have more.
No, I don't have too much more. I just have to say that, like, how did I find out about these guys? It was real early. It was on Folklore and No. Maybe it was their self. Wait, no, hold on a second. I would have to see the cover. Let me take a look. What's on their self-titled? Rain Wizard. Yeah, it might be on their very first album. I ran across Rain Wizard, and I don't know how. Shit, I'm trying. Oh man, that bugs me now. Because I'm usually pretty good about like how I found stuff like that, but I thought that I don't know if it was on the Mog. You guys remember Mog? The Mog app? Or it might have been somehow finding them on Kazaa, or maybe I read about them and looked them up or something. I'm not exactly sure. But I just remember hearing, I bought Folklore and Superstition, and I just, I was sold from the first note. That like type of rock was based in the blues, definitely had a southern rock thing. What I thought of right away was the project that Zakk Wylde did between Ozzy albums in the 90s called Pride and Glory. I was like, okay, this is like heavy southern rock. That's exactly what it is. It was like, not southern. Some people called it, there were people that referred to like Pride and Glory and Blackstone Cherry bands like it is southern metal. Not well, I mean, if there is a such thing,
They think there is.
Yeah. So, I think a band that we would call southern metal is, what are they called? Big John, what's his name? What's his name? I interviewed him.
He's asking me.
What are they called? You know what I'm talking about. The dude's huge. He sells his own barbecue sauce. He came to Pittsburgh. You've seen him. They play Jurgles. They're super heavy, but they are a southern band.
I'm sure I know who this is.
I would Big John. Damn guys, somebody throw me a bone.
I'm sorry, I don't know, dude.
Yes, you do.
I do, but I don't.
If I said
when
the name,
you say
like,
it,
oh yeah.
when
yeah,
you say
yeah,
it,
yeah.
I'll know it.
Yeah, all your clues are like, his favorite color is blue.
I know it's terrible. I'm a
come
jerk.
on, Lou, you gotta help us out here.
You know what's funny? It's Blackstone Cherry. I didn't.
Big
even see
Dad
them.
Rich.
I have
That's the
no
singer.
idea who that is.
Oh, come on. Yes, you do. All right. Oh my God! It's a shame we can't look it up.
I didn't even see Blackstone Cherry in Pittsburgh. I saw them in New York. So this is what I'm talking about. They need to come back to Pittsburgh more often so we can see them. I don't know who that is. My sister would know who that is.
You do. Texas Hippie Coalition.
Oh, okay.
See, I told you would know.
I
It
know
just
them.
wouldn't come to me. But I would say, like, I would call them more like Southern metal.
Yeah.
They've
yeah,
got
yeah.
that more like, Pantera almost thing kind of going on,
Yes, I do like them.
Okay. All right. So I knew you would know
I
it.
don't know the guy's name.
Okay. Okay. But in any case, I don't know where I was going with that. But, like, I would consider those guys more Southern metal. But this is, like, really good hard rock with that sort of Southern thing going on. It isn't... it isn't like that country bro thing. So don't... Well, maybe. Some people might think it is.
No.
Do you think it is?
No. The answer is no.
No. Okay.
The correct answer is no.
The correct answer is no. Okay, very cool. So yeah, but that's so Lily brought up Blackstone Cherry. I think that's a really good one. I'm gonna pick a band that I'm surprised Lily did not mention. That's the Dead Daisies.
I'm surprised I didn't mention it too because I love them.
Australian American rock supergroup. Dave Lowry, collective formed in 2013 in Australia by Dave Lowry. Musicians that have joined Lowry for the project include Richard Fortus from Guns N' Roses, John Stevens from In Excess and Noiseworks, Daryl Jones from the Rolling Stone, bassist extraordinaire, Dizzy Reed from Guns N' Roses, Marco Mendoza from
I interviewed
Thin Lizzy and
him,
Whitesnake.
Marco
Very
Mendoza.
good one. Good. Charlie Drayton from The Cult and The Divinals, John Tempesta from The Cult, Frank Farrer from Guns N' Roses. Oh my God, Nine Inch Nails dudes, and Doug Aldrich, who plays the Whitesnake, and amongst many Dean Castronova,
Karabi.
John Corabi.
That's who I saw them when he was
John
lead singer.
Corabi. I'm surprised. Is Mitch Malloy singing with them now?
No, it's somebody.
But I'm
important.
just surprised he's not.
Right.
Because let Mitch Malloy, throw him in there. Why not?
It's Glenn Hughes.
Okay. There you are.
Yeah.
The Dead Daisies were formed by John Stevens and Dave Lowry. The singer-songwriter, guitarist got together after Dave Edwards, ex-manager of INXS, reintroduced them. The band's self-titled debut album was recorded in 2 weeks at Wishbone Studios in L.A. with American producer, engineer, multi-instrumentalist John Fields. The album was released in North America on the 9th of August of 2013 through Caroline/Universal and later released in the United Kingdom in mid-November. Lock and Load, their first single, was co-written by Slash. Okay, so now Slash is involved.
Everybody's involved in this band. Everybody, literally everybody.
Who also played guitar on the track. The song was a Rolling Stone magazine daily countdown on the top 25. Also available on the website BBC Radio 2. The song's music video appeared on more than 20 outlets, including Much Music. The single was released in the United Kingdom on 2013. You mean that they didn't debut it on Friday Night Videos? The Dead Daisies. This is like a who's who. And like the rest of this is a lot of sort of lineup changes. But yes, John Corabi, all kind of amazing people. So with those type of players playing, you know what you're going to get. And it's just really good rock. No, it is not like total, like, it is. They don't sound like fucking Poison or something like that.
No, they do not.
No, they do not. But
At
they
all.
do have an element of that more. I think that they've got a sprinkling. I think they've got a little bit of glitter, and maybe some
Like a splash.
maybe some platform shoes mixed in, because they do have a smidge of that vibe, that glammy kind. Just a smidge, just like a dash.
They have a splash of glitter from the stripper club.
Okay,
That's what it is.
that's it. That's it. They just from the strip club they went to. They were out at the Climax on 22.
That's not a thing anymore.
Well, it should be.
It should be.
Erotic is still open. That's dirty enough, right?
Oh, do you remember? Oh, no. The good one was the playground out on
That's
70.
also gone. I've been there.
No, what? Now, you
Actually,
want,
that whole building's gone.
that was a shithole of shitholes, man.
I was there.
Man, you better wipe the fucking seat, man, before you sit in that place.
If you have COVID, you were never there.
Yeah.
There's everything in there would kill COVID. You go in there, that would kill COVID. Oh God! Now I'm gonna get censored. I'm gonna get canceled because I said the strip club kills COVID.
Nice.
No, I think it's accurate. I think people know.
I think that's accurate.
I think that's accurate.
Yeah.
Please do not take the advice of moron wastoids who like rock music on your health. Please consult your doctor. In any case, that's a good pick. The Dead Daisies. I pat myself on the back. So I think we
love
got
them.
10.
Good boy.
Yeah, that was 10.
So we got 10. So go check out these 10 fucking bands. Quit fucking around. Okay? Podcast over. Go home.
Bye.
That's all I've got to say. Go away now. Anyways, so good show, good job. A couple of things we want to do. We love to do This Day in Music, and we're going to do that in a minute. But I want to talk about our good friend. Speaking of classic rock, on our good friend Neil Young.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I have no idea what's going on with this.
Okay, so I have been so, I've gone to bat for Neil Young with so many people so many times. I love Neil Young. I remember like hearing like on like the more like on the rock stations, he was on the rock stations and on the pop stations, which kind of fascinated me. And when he was music would come on the pop station, it would really stand out because, you know, a lot of the music from the 70s and stuff was like very polished. You're talking Dionne Warwick and the Carpenters and stuff like that. And then you'd hear this guy with this very kind of like lilting, vulnerable kind of vocal, you know, singing after the Gold Rush or Heart of Gold or one of those things, and you would be really moved by it. And it was just, I thought it was very beautiful. I love his one note. What's the song? Is it Down by the River? That's the one that has the one note guitar solo. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like, and I know Jeff Mazzy would like kill me, you know, for saying, but and I've gotten into like real like heated arguments with people over it. I just loved what he was doing. I thought it was very cool. I thought it was very different. I mean, like, what do you do when you've got like these like really amazing guitar players all around you? I mean, the 70s had a lot of, you had Rick Derringer, you had Ted Nugent, you had Peter Frampton, you had Eric Clapton, you had all these big guitarists, you know, everywhere. You know, so what do? You become the guy that's a guitar hero who plays one freaking note. I mean, I thought that like that was pretty cool. And he wrote some great songs, but I have to come down. Like, what's going on is he demanded that his music, that Joe Rogan be fired from Spotify, or he was going to take his music and away from Spotify. And Spotify said, "Oh, sorry to see you go, Neil."
Bye.
And I'm not going to get into what the controversy was over. If you don't know what that is, you may look it up on your own. I just will say this. Was interesting, and my good buddy Ed Roman, we got to get Ed to come sit in with us one night. He's a good dude. Posted on his page a very interesting article, and it turns out, you know, like all these artists that have been selling their catalogs. Yeah. Well, Neil's one of them, and he sold the catalog to Mercuriadis. Anyways, this guy
Mercuriadis
is the and his company is the Hypnosis, spelled Hypnosis, Songs Fund. And guess what that is a subsidiary? Guess what that's owned by?
What?
The same company that owns Pfizer.
Oh. Oh boy.
So you go ahead and you put it together in your mind about what's going on here. So it's, you know, this whole situation is playing out. It's very interesting, but I don't, you know, it's up to you, whatever you think. I don't, you know, give a fuck. I'm on the side of, well, I just think it's ironic that people from the 60s who were all about, you know, they wanted to be able to say what they wanted to say and they wanted to be able to express themselves, now want people to not be able to say what they want to say and not express themselves. See something
Weird.
a little off, something a little, you know, it's just a little bit. That's
They're old and senile now.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe that's just Bones. What do you think? Exactly.
Fox hunting again.
I have one question though.
Sure.
Neil Diamond's music is still on.
Neil Diamond's music. Is
Okay,
still
I
on.
was concerned. Thanks.
Do you have a sequin jacket?
No, there's a reason. There's a reason I make that joke is because I've heard 2 reports now that screwed up and said Neil Diamond rather than Neil Young.
Really?
Yes,
Very different people.
they are too, and that's why I'm like,
However, this is so ironic.
yes,
They are both in the same very famous concert film together. They're in The Last Waltz.
oh that's
Both
right.
of them play
That's
on The
right.
Last Waltz.
Maybe that's
It's very. I always
maybe
thought
that's
that
why
like.
they got confused. I don't know.
Yeah, I thought it was very. I think it's very
crazy.
cool. What do you think about that? Okay, all right, I'll get on with it. So we're
Down
gonna
with
talk
you.
about something else. So I just thought that was kind of an interesting thing. I think as a podcaster and a person who's into music, kind of like stuck in the middle with you kind of thing. Anyways, I threw it out there. So we were talking about current bands that are keeping this sort of classic rock sound, vibe type of songwriting approach, whatever you want to call it, alive. So what are most modern rock bands doing then? Do you listen to any of the current hard rock, Lily? Listen to bands like maybe 3 Days Grace or Spirit Box or none of the. No, I know you like Coheed and Cambria.
Yes, I do like.
Okay.
I do like.
But and I don't want to. I'm going to make generalizations and just fucking deal with it. It's called broadcasting, so these would be very broad statements.
I thought it had to do with women. Sorry.
Exactly. Well, I think it's sort of like the rock has a problem right now. It's got many problems, and there is no such usually when something's going off the rails, it usually isn't one thing, and it usually isn't only like one thing that's going to fix it. Right? It's usually like, hey, you need some of this, and you got to bring in some of that, and you got to do it with this, and then okay, now we can get it back on track. But it's usually never like a silver bullet or a magic bullet that's like, this is it, and it's going to fix it.
Right.
So the opposite is true with like what the problems are. Usually they're kind of varied and complicated. They're nuanced. But one of the problems that modern rock has, after I've been like, I'm a month and a half now or so into just a steady diet of octane, is modern rock has a kind of political problem. Now, let me explain to you what I mean by that. Do you guys remember when rock was young, right? What were the first thing if I say a rock and roll song, what do you think like the song is about?
Sex.
Right? Sex? Okay, so we're going to talk about
The
sex.
devil.
Se-
The devil. Yes.
So sex and love. That was like sort of the first, love and sex. Those are the first kind of like topics, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they never really went away for like ever until grunge. That's when they
Right.
really started to kind of like, and I'm going to get into that in a second. But like for the like the main era of rock, when rock was king, sex, love and sex, love lost, love found, love sucks, love stinks, right? You know what I mean?
Right.
And then all the songs about banging and getting laid, you shook me all night long.
Yeah, basically all of AC/DC's catalog.
And I think that so that was a major thing, and that's something that everybody in the world can relate to. Everybody falls in love. Everybody has sex, even Pittsburgh Kevin. Just teasing you. That's a joke. I love him. He's my brother from another mother. I'm just teasing him. Nobody can talk smack on Pittsburgh Kevin except for me because we're bros.
And me.
Well, I was gonna say Lily. Lily can too.
So that was like a giant, right? So like, and made rock kind of fun and a little naughty.
Yes.
You can all relate to it, Okay, the next thing that songs were really, really about the other subject matter was partying.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You got to fight for your right. Which is a kind of way later song, but we could name tons of songs, drinking whiskey, smoking cocaine, right? Yeah, we know tons and tons of songs about getting wasted, getting loaded.
Half of Motley Crue's catalog.
Yes, and not just those guys. I mean, you know,
I'm
like
just being
all the party music from all the rock artists in the '70s and everything. That was just like a big thing. Another subject that was very, and you can understand why people related to that, because that means fun. Who doesn't like to have fun? Okay. And then the other topic that as I was thinking about this, that was really kind of a big thing, was this sort of like road warrior, gunslinger, the kind of, you know, I'm out on the edge. I'll give you a good example. I'll give you a really good example. Running with the Devil.
Yes.
And there's tons of songs that have, and another song that's very much like Running with the Devil in although it's not, I think I'm gonna get shit for this, is Wanted Dead or Alive by Bon Jovi. It's the same kind of idea.
I was also gonna say that.
I'm out on my own. I'm like the lone guy. I'm like doing my thing, and like the world's against me, but I'm gonna kick ass. Like, Jesus, what a powerful freaking vibe. And those songs had music that matched that, like really, really, really well. So that's another thing you could understand. Like, and we wanted those guys were like heroes. You know what I mean? Because of that, they, you know, we became larger life. And then, of course, I just mentioned, and the last one is drugs. And there's a lot of songs that were kind of cutesy, wootsy, smiley, little drug references, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Your parents don't know what we're talking about, kind of thing.
But they do.
And so those were the main 4 topics of rock. You know what I mean?
times.
And people love that. So these would be like, imagine politicians that ran on like, look, we're not worried about COVID or riots or nothing like that. What we're gonna run is like, we're gonna make everything fucking awesome. Check this shit out. We're gonna have fucking Star Trek now. We're gonna be beaming places. We're gonna have anti-gravity. Like, you know, everything's gonna be fucking sweet. We're gonna have like, you're gonna be able to fucking like turn on your microwave and pop out a 4-course meal. It's gonna be total, and none of the food's gonna have any bad shit in it. Like, you can eat hamburgers all day.
Back
and
to the Future too.
Perfectly nutritious. Like you know, so like that would get people excited, right? That's what rock was doing in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and maybe a little bit of the 90s. But today now I've been listening to Octane for a month and a half. Yeah. The main topic on most, now this, I don't want to say all of this because Hailstorm has a great song called Back from the Dead right now that really falls in with the previous categories really, really well. But most of the main topic is life sucks.
Yeah.
That's the main topic. Life sucks. My life sucks. My life is terrible. Everybody hates me. Nobody likes me. Think I'll go eat worms.
I knew you were gonna say it. I was ready.
You know, another topic is alienation. You know, I'm all alone and I can't connect, and you know, and then another one is like, somebody save me. You know, they're just kind of like, okay, so like a politician runs. Okay, would you rather vote for the guy love sex, partying, gunslinger, road war, you know, or would you vote for the guy life sucks, you're alienated, and somebody save me?
I kind of feel you already know what my answer is.
Exactly. So that's what I mean by a political problem. Rock has this is a political problem for rock. We guys, kids, listen to me. Life ain't that bad. Most of you guys grow up middle class and stuff. So let's hear about all the chicks you were banging, because if you're telling me, like, you want to tell me like the guys in let's just start with the grunge era, the guys in Pearl Jam, that they weren't getting tons of ass and smoking tons of weed and drinking tons of fucking booze. You want to tell me that they get the fuck out of here?
They just weren't talking about it.
Yeah. So let's get back to like some fun and like getting people excited about something, and not so much life sucks and all that stuff. Come on, guys. Like, I think that folks would respond to it.
I kind of feel like people who are young anymore just don't have sex anymore, though. So I don't think that's a thing for them to sing about. I think that's all gone now.
Well, if we don't start fucking, we're going to run out of people. And then the third world is going to kick our ass. So come on. Let's get back to banging. So I just wanted to, this is like, and we could go on and like what killed rock and everything. But, you know, I remember reading rock critics and stuff in the 80s and stuff when I was getting into music, and they were always seemed to favor this more kind of like depressing kind of songwriting, you know, this sort of like, you know, the American dream is dead. And that's sort of like real kind of like, you know what I mean? They kind of can really value that. And I kind of always scratched my head at that. I'm like, that's one flavor. That's one sentiment to express, and that's legitimate too. But it just seems like, man, because if you really want to be honest, when rock musicians went to this more introspective whatever, the hip hop dudes and the rappers were like, fine. We're going to be the ones talking about the partying and the banging and the drugs and the gunslinging. And I mean, if you listen to the hip hop and the rappers, they're talking about everything I had in category, I wrote in category 1. Yep. Everything. And that's what, and people can relate to that. Not everybody wants to think that their life sucks. Sorry. So it was just something that was like kind of like a, I don't know, perspective thing. Do you guys have any thoughts on you want to talk about?
I do. I got one thought. We need a new Van Halen. Because back in the day when it was all Black Sabbath and this and that, all of a sudden this little band out of California comes around and they're singing about dancing the night away, man, and partying and having a good time, man. We need a new band like Van Halen.
You done?
Lily, it's your turn.
Well, I mean, I think we do. We don't. I mean, where is that band?
Where are you?
You know, I mean, I think that Mammoth is a good band, and I think that the songs are solid, but I don't see them as like.
They're not a party band. That's not what they are.
So where is the guys like? And like, it can't be Steel Panther either. It can't be like. It's got to be somebody. It's got. And I hate to say it. It's got to be the younger guys. You guys got to like. Because we know you're partying. Quit hiding it. We know you're having sex. We know because abortion is up and all kind of shit. Like, come on, we know what you're doing. Don't like, it is. It is up.
Where are you getting your information?
I wasn't a political statement. It's a fact. People are having tons of abortions. It's all over the news. Like, you know, you're obviously fucking is what I'm trying to say. That's not the point. You're obviously fucking. You hear all the time about the drug problem. So you're obviously doing drugs.
Everybody's afraid now to talk
Underage
about these
drinking
things.
is like, that's like a thing. We know you're drinking. We know you're drugging. We know you're fucking.
COVID,
like, let's have some fun.
COVID. I'm trying to cover all those up. COVID.
Everybody's too scared, and everybody's too whiny. That's the problem now.
Knock it off and live life.
Yeah, have
Thank
some
you.
fun, man. You know, you have a good time, man. You guys don't, you know, maybe after having all these so-called like lockdowns and
It's
shit,
very poison of him.
maybe you'll start to, you know, change your tune. Lighten the fuck up. a
Lighten
little
up,
bit.
Francis.
Francis.
Nothing but a good time.
Francis.
I don't even know what's going on now.
I don't know, but is there anything you guys kind of noticed in kind of modern music? So much of it is like, you know. Yeah, it's like it's okay. Like, and I get it, like, and I think that it's cool to have like kind of like some serious subject matter in time because like metal has always done that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's always been a thing in metal. Then I'm not saying not to do that, but it's just like I just sort of feel like it's like, oh my goodness, you know, I want to open a vein when after you know an hour of that. On this day in 1957, Decca Records announced that Bill Haley and his Comets' Rock Around the Clock had sold over 1 million copies in the UK, mostly on 10-inch 78s. The version of Rock Around the Clock that was used in the movie Blackboard Jungle differs from the hit single version. The difference is in the 2 solo breaks. Elvis Presley had his third UK #1 single, One Night, I Got Stung. It was a double side. On this day in 1967, the Beatles spent a second day at Knoll Park, Seven Oaks, Kent. Wow, you folks in England, we got like too many names on shit. To complete the filming of the Strawberry Fields Forever promotional video. This is like one of those like, this is like music, it's a video.
Right, yeah.
It's like conceptual. It's interesting. On this day in 1969, Zeppelin played the first of 2 nights at the Fillmore East. American blues musician Slim Harpo died of a heart attack while recording in London at age 46. Oh, he was a baby. His most successful and influential recordings, I'm a King Bee, Raining in My Heart, and Baby Scratch My Back. This happened in this day in 1970. Oh, okay. if it's the Jackson 5, it's got to be up and exciting and fun and cool, right? On this day, the Jackson 5 went to #1 on the U.S. singles chart with I Want You Back. Oh, great song. Great song. Great song. Song was originally written for Gladys Knight and the Pips and was the first of 4 #1s for the group. Made it to #2 in the UK. UK, you guys don't know what you're missing, man. ABBA knocked Queen from the UK #1 position on the UK charts in this day in 76 with Mamma Mia.
Really?
It knocked Bohemian Rhapsody off the charts.
Really?
Hey, man, the bigger they are, the harder they fucking fall.
Well, that's sad, but that's okay. I like both songs.
This day in 1991, The Tide is High and I'm Hanging On, #1 on the U.S. singles charts. Blondie. Radio Gaga, where, by the way, this is where Lady Gaga got the idea for her name. The track was released after Queen's recording and touring hiatus of over a year. Spent 11 weeks on the charts, peaking #2. This release this day in 1984. 1984 is a good year.
I was 3.
Yep. A lot of good records. Didn't we do a podcast? Top 10 records released in 1984. I think we did. On this day in 1987, Paul Simon went back to #1 on the UK album chart with Graceland. The album stayed on the chart a total of 101 weeks. Went on to win 1987 Grammy Award for Album of the Year. That was a really big. That was like his last really big record, I think. The Stone Roses granted conditional bail. Okay, whatever. The Stone Roses. It's a good band. I thought maybe it was something more music related. And some Robbie Williams. 2007. Jim Morrison was enlisted. What? Wait a minute here. This doesn't make sense. 2007. Jim Morrison was enlisted to help fight global warming more than 35 years after his death. A Woman in the Window, a previously unreleased poem written and recorded by the Doors frontman shortly before he died in 1971, was being set to music and used to publicize global cool campaign.
Interesting.
Yeah. His estate must have yeah. Well, I mean, must have granted, permission for that. You guys know who David Gilmour is?
Yes.
Michael Goltz. You know who David Gilmour is?
No, not him.
Did a charity show with the Seat of the Pants Band. It was a black tie dinner dance at which Bob Hoskins, Suggs from Madness, and comedian Les Dennis also appeared. Raised over $50,000 for a cancer charity. That's nice. John Wetton. English singer-bassist John Wetton died in his sleep in his home in Bournemouth, Dorset, UK, from colon cancer.
Oh.
John Wetton was in, most famously,
King Crimson.
he was in King Crimson, but he was in Asia. That was the big.
Oh, Asia.
He's the one that sang, Heat of the Moment and all those big songs.
Oh, I didn't know.
That's him singing. Yep. Okay, Terry Kath.
Sure.
And there's a documentary about Terry Kath was the guitarist, the original guitarist for Chicago Transit Authority, and then later named Chicago. There is a really cool documentary about his daughter trying to rediscover. Didn't we watch it? You watch it? Did we? You didn't watch it with me?
No, I would have remembered that.
She was trying to discover who her father was. So she goes all around the country to recollect his guitars.
Oh, that would be cool.
It's very good. It's very good. If you've never seen it, I can't remember the name of it. You can find it on streaming. It's very good.
Huh.
But he had of course he was in Chicago. He died. His last words were, "Don't worry, it's not loaded." It's ironic. I'm laughing on it because it's ironic. And he put his gun to his head and pulled the trigger.
Wow. Here, hold my beer.
Like
Don't worry.
It's like what's every redneck's last words? Hey, y'all, watch this. It's like, no, don't worry, it's not loaded.
Terry.
It's the same kind of thing. No disrespect. I have much respect for Terry Kath, but it's just one of those crazy stories. Like, he literally said, Wow. Oh, my goodness. Adrian Vandenberg. You know him, Lily, don't you?
Yes, you do.
No,
not until I read it.
Sure.
He was in
Yeah.
Whitesnake
Yeah.
for some of their like biggest shit.
Well,
Biggest shit.
Rev
he-
and Doug.
He's a
Or
Dutch
Diego.
Dutch guitarist. Oh, this because you're a wee lad. Doug Aldrich, he's like way later, way
Hot,
later.
so there's that.
But that era with Whitesnake with Adrian Vandenberg had ex-Dio guitarist who later went on to be in Def Leppard. He's got what's his name, Vivian Campbell.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah,
it's those
okay.
two. It's those two. And but yeah, and I still love his song. You know Burning Heart by Vandenberg?
Yeah.
Okay. I still love that song. It's a great song. But yeah, happy birthday to Adrian Vandenberg. Johnny Rotten, John Lydon, singer with the Sex Pistols.
Johnny Rotten Johnny.
It's his birthday.
Lloyd Cole of Lloyd Cole and the Commotions was born this day in 1961.
Oh, I do know that song.
Jeff Hanneman from the band Slayer. Saw their last tour, which wasn't their last tour, right? They're going to tour again, right?
They're probably gonna.
Yeah, of course, of course.
Lou and I saw them.
So guitarist with thrash metal band Slayer. Hanneman died on the 2nd of May, 2013, at the age of 49. So he had a nice long life.
49?
Wow. Your humor is horrible tonight.
Wow, sir.
Do you know who Chad Channing was?
Chad Channing.
He was the original drummer
Yeah.
before Dave Grohl in the band Nirvana.
Nirvana. I used to hate when people said Nirvana.
Nirvana.
It's down the street, Nirvana.
Minnie Driver. Happy birthday. He's born in 1970.
Lovely
Singer,
lady.
songwriter,
Sure.
Actress.
I had no idea she was a singer.
I didn't know that either.
Until
I'm
just
like,
a
I
minute.
know her movies, but
Justin Timberlake. He's
Yes.
bringing sexy back.
Sure he is.
Sexy came back to the world in
It sure
1981
did.
with the
Oh.
birth of Justin Timberlake.
Oh boy.
Happy birthday, Justin. Marcus Mumford from the band Mumford and Sons.
See?
Happy birthday, and that's all.
That's it. That's all the people
okay,
who are ever born
Bones, can you give us a good, kind of like that's all, folks, kind of sound? No.
No, that was
Kind of
that
very
was
Justin Timberlake like though.
yeah.
That was
that's
very
what-
Justin Timberlake.
Oh my.
I don't know what's wrong with people.
What's
giving
going
Bones, Bones, wait, come on, get back here,
tired.
buddy.
He is tired. It's been a long night for Bones.
Bones.
But that's fine.
How about this, Bones? Bones, come on. How about a little bit? Come on. You can do better.
There you go.
That's the real fox hunting.
That is.
All right, that'll have to do. That'll do, pig. That'll do. That'll do, pig. That'll do. So, guys, we whittled away another podcast, about an hour and a half worth. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. We, as we sat here and slaved over alcohol, just to entertain you, folks.
I'm glad you used that F word, folks.
Find Wolf's Customs and tell them that you want an awesome repaint on your musical instrument. Go to rockrageradio.com. Download the app. They have an app for that. They do have an app for that. They got an app for that.
And it's free.
And it's free. LouLombardiMusic.com for some great Lou Lombardi music and getting involved in our inner circle. And you can find out all about the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus at LoudiniRockandRollCircus.com. I would love to take a minute and thank my co-hosts, the lovely and talented Lily V6 and Pittsburgh Kevin. Lily has her own show on Rock Rage Radio, mentioned it earlier, so why don't you go ahead and remind the folks one more time, Lily.
It's Hot Licks with Lily 6, Thursday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Be there. Get the app for free. Or just go to rockrageradio.com.
All right, cool. All right, guys, thank you so much for hanging out. We had a good time tonight. You guys have a good time, Pittsburgh Kevin? You all right?
Always.
Yes.
All right. We'll leave it at that. You guys have a great week, and we will catch you all on the next Loudini Rock and Roll